finalist? I see he was a finalist. Yeah. Not as many AP voters as we had thought decided to put the guy who didn't play just because he wasn't the starter, and then now he plays great into the comeback player of the year. You AP people, are you guys all on the same page over there? What's going on?
It doesn't feel like it. I'm not allowed to reveal who I voted for yet, or the top 5. I don't believe. But I asked the AP about it and this situation as far as Sam Darnold goes, and they said everyone in the NFL is eligible for comeback player of the year unless you're a rookie because you weren't in the NFL last year. But we hope the voters take the spirit of the award as how it should.
Okay, so we should assume with that message being sent multiple times from the AP, Sam Darnold is certainly a finalist. But
hell no.
Right alongside an AP voter, they changed this year. This is a this year change. So whenever the sports books had Sam Darnold as the favorite to win the entire thing because how he's playing, they were going off what previous awards were. People were taking their bets. Sports books were accepting the bets. You name it. And then once again had to come out and say, hey, what the voters are being told is it's not like you stink, now you're good again.
Correct.
It's like, hey, did you go through some shit? And now
he likes it.
So we can assume that's what the award's going to be and who it's going to go to.
Yeah, and I tweeted it out earlier in the year when I saw that he was a favorite. Like I said, I think the sports books, this is kind of misleading to people. A lot of people reply with that. Other circumstances are that he was on the Jets drafted him. That's pretty big other circumstances. Things like that.
I mean, the more we learn, the more we learn, it is tough circumstances. Yeah, I agree. Brick Johnson comes in there and tells you stink. It's going to be tough to respond for. It's like when you're playing Call of Duty and the guy in the lobby says something that hits a little bit too close to home. That's Brick Johnson football, and I think Brick Johnson is a motivator. I think if we were to understand the story,
he said, "Man, this is the bomb."
He wants to celebrate people. I assume he didn't just crush Sam Darnold.
He shook that head like, "Whoa!"
Other circumstances into this guy who's in a terrible situation.
Is that
if you wanted to not pay attention to the spirit of the award, sure,
but you have to. Like, this is a two-horse race. It's J.K. Dobbins and Joe Burrow. And I'm a Christian Gonzalez guy, but like J.K. Dobbins and Joe Burrow, unless I'm mistaken, haven't really won any All-Pro or anything this year. So like I feel like it's sometimes these awards like they're almost rewarding guys when they don't get rewarded in other places. Like Joe Burrow had an unbelievable season. Is he really going to win nothing? Like you would assume they're going to give him.
There's a chance Saquon wins though.
Yeah.
There's a chance.
That's why to that point. That's why it's like, hey, he's going to win Offensive Player of the Year.
This is going to blow your
Josh Allen
mind.
wins MVP. Then Lamar Jackson wins nothing?
Watch this, Mom.
If Lamar Jackson wins MVP, which all Pro Football Writers Association of America has deemed Lamar Jackson the MVP. I didn't do enough research on how much that matches up with the AP. I should have. First team All-Pro quarterback, though, Lamar Jackson, which is voted on by the same AP people that are voting for the awards. So let's assume Lamar Jackson's winning the MVP. So Josh Allen doesn't win the MVP again. He's not up for Offensive Player of the Year, right?
Like sweet potato.
So Josh Allen has another 40-plus touchdown year. Has led his team again. He won 3 rushing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns, week 13 or 14. First time ever that has happened to quarterback. Having the year he's having with the roster he's having, he's going to win nothing. He's going to end up with nothing in this entire thing. So
maybe the Super Bowl.
Bingo.
What he'd say, hey, I don't need that other draft.
Well, just like Saquon would say as well, if the Eagles were able to do that. Chuck, everybody's talking about this Borgonzi quote. In Brinker quote, down there in Tennessee. Now, Borgonzi has been brought in as the general manager. Brinker is the president of football operations. Borgonzi is handling the draft and free agency. Brinker is the one that's going to cut it down to the final 53. They're very tight. They're on the same page. Brinker was on a local radio station with Ramon Foster and a few others. And this is what he had to say about that number 1 overall pick that they had. Are you going to trade it, or are you going to utilize that pick that you have down there in Tennessee? Here's the president of football operations for the Tennessee Titans, Chad Brinker.
Yeah, we got to look at all the options. But the one thing I will say, if there's a generational talent, you don't pass that up. You can't pass that up. And if we feel that there's a generational talent right there, what we call a blue player, a guy that is a franchise-type player, the player that tips the field in your favor every time you step on the field, like you cannot pass that up. But we'll also look at all the options, not only at the number 1 overall pick, but in all the rounds. I mean,
they turn that up.
We got to see what the value is. We got to see what's on the table. We
I guess it likes sweet potato. I wonder if it likes pumpkin.
For the Tennessee Titans and helping us build a football team that sustained over time. And like I've emphasized how the draft is that the core of this roster is going to be built for the draft.
But
So yeah,
the
there's
ones
we're
with
looking
the
at all those
lights?
options.
Very interesting.
With
You know, he
like
was
the
brought in
candles
2023. Callahan was brought in
He
last
doesn't
year.
like
Now
those
the
ones.
GM, Bonganzi, out of Boston's been brought in, this year. So everybody's at different times. Allegedly, Bonganzi and Brinker are on the same page. They'll be the ones creating the roster. What's that mean for Callahan? We shall see. But a once-in-a-generation type player, potentially number one. Now, this has obviously sent ripple effects through it all. And we'll talk to Daniel Jeremiah in a second. Is that Travis Hunter is he talking about? Abdul Carter? Who's the once-in-a-generation player that we're potentially missing or not thinking about? And how come every time they talk about quarterbacks, it's Cam Ward, Shador Sanders, insert name of quarterback, insert name of quarterback, insert name of quarterback, and there's never a Will Howard. What am I missing about Will Howard in this entire thing?
Ever since you told me to take a peek at him a week ago, 10 days ago, and I took a peek at him, and then I watched him,
But by the time this is gone, he's gonna be mad after it's gone.
Obviously, the numbers speak for the numbers speak
He be
for
like, ain't
themselves,
no more.
But anyway, I know you don't like any flowers being thrown at you guys. But yeah, he was absolutely just incredible in that game.
Yeah,
and
I
he's played
accidentally
so
closed
well.
it. I had to get a
And I don't know. I don't see it. He just the metrics were all there, right? 6'4", 235, 240 pounds, mobile enough. He can get out of harm's way. Quarterback runs, certainly accurate. Got the arm talent, make all the throws. Yeah, why not a big, smart, physical? I mean, and a dog. And a guy that apparently, like all those studs around him, like they love him and they play for him. So that's the biggest thing. Like generational talent. Brinker's talking about it. Like
He's like, I'm waiting.
No pun intended. When I got the job here in India, 2012, Andrew Luck sitting there, right? Yeah, we're going to pass on Andrew. No, generational talent, to say the least, right? Yeah. So if there's a guy there, and this may be the guy after they do the vetting process, I don't see why this guy. I think AP Tone, you got him where in the fourth?
I got it a couple times.
That's what I'm saying. So we'll talk to Daniel Jeremiah about this.
What are we? So I don't know what I'm missing.
And me neither. And I've already set the table with Daniel Jeremiah. Like, hey, I just want to let you hear some veto. Because all you draft experts have left this guy out. I just want to know why. He's liked by his teammates. He's big. He shows up on the biggest stage. And he was on our show just cool. He's one of the lads.
Awesome. Yeah.
He's one of the lads. I don't fully get it. Now, granted, Shador can spin it, and obviously his dad, he's one of the greatest football players of all time, one of the greatest athletes of all time, and we've seen him have to grow, and he's been very mature for a while. I'm not saying anything against Shador. I'm not saying anything against Cam Ward. He's played a lot of football, obviously, went down to Miami, changed their entire culture, and did a great job this season. He led an offense that was very explosive. I'm not saying anything about Cam. But just a lack of respect at all for Will Howard. It doesn't make any sense because he's being treated as somebody that's like 5'11". He's being treated as somebody that's like 5'10". Maybe he doesn't have the physical stats to be able to keep up with all the stuff he's been able to do on the field. But he's huge.
It stinks.
He's gigantic. He can run. I don't. This one doesn't make any sense. And I guess it's going to be because he's surrounded by talent. But when he was at Kansas State this final year, he wasn't.
Yeah.
He was Big 12 Player of the Year. And that's over Quinn Ewers. That's over everybody in Texas. That's whenever, Oklahoma's in the Big 12. Obviously, West Virginia was in the Big 12. So somehow he won Player of the Year over everybody that was with the Mountaineers. It's like, this guy's a good player. He's played a lot of ball. Seems to be cool. I just want to hear from Dan Jeremiah. We'll talk to him next time.
Well, and the surrounded by talent thing, like, sure, you can get that. But Shador Sanders, they're talking about Travis Hunter being that